Today we got some extremely exciting news regarding Osama Ranking or Ranking of Kings getting another anime adaptation, though set your expectations. We also got some other news regarding some sequels and some new anime adaptations in this news bit, so if you're interested in any of this news, definitely stay tuned. Kicking things off, let's jump right into Ranking of Kings. I have been watching like a hawk at any announcement regarding Ranking of Kings. I absolutely loved the first season. I thought it was an absolutely amazing show with just beautifully done characters. Characters that have so many facets to them. No character is what they seem at first. They're just characters that have so much dynamics about them. They just constantly shift, which is fantastic. And so yes, when the first season ended, I was eagerly awaiting for a second season. And it looked like, woke up this morning to some news regarding Osama Ranking, but unfortunately not what I was hoping for. But still, it creates a little bit of hope. The official Twitter account for Ranking of Kings, or Osama Ranking, tweeted that the series will be getting a special episode in 2023. Now, just one episode, which is a little bit disheartening. It's called The Treasure Chest of Courage, and it will be airing on the Noitamina block just like the original series was. It will have the staff and the cast return for it. Now, why I say that this is actually a good thing, despite the fact that it's only one episode, which I'll take any Ranking of Kings, honestly. If you give me something, I'm going to take it. But obviously, the sadness that comes from this is that it wasn't another season announcement. But what I will say is that for them to go back and actually do more adaptation of the series, even if it's just a special, it kind of leads me to believe they're trying to create something to keep people's interest in the series as they work on the next season. Obviously, Wit Studio is a very busy studio, and so they probably have a lot of stuff they're working on currently, and so maybe they couldn't get around to a second season quite yet. And so what I think this is kind of honestly doing is giving us like something to taste just while we wait for that second season. So I fully expect that up close to the point that they broadcast this special, or maybe right when it broadcasts, they might possibly at that point say, oh, by the way, we have a second season coming. So that's what I'm going to hold my hope for. This isn't an announcement that there's going to be a second season. I'm just saying, typically, if you have a studio goes back to something like that, just to do a quick special, a single episode, it kind of leads me to believe that there's something right around the corner for it. So I'm going to hold my expectations, but at the same time, I'm putting a little hope in there. Moving on, the official website for the Fruit of Evolution. For all the fans of that series, all 4 of you, including my brother. We, of course, had a recent announcement that we're getting a second season for that series, and it looks like the official website has announced that the premiere for it will be in January of 2023. So, right around the corner. So, I'm super glad for everybody that loves that series. It didn't work for me. It works for a lot of other people, all 4 of you. So look forward to that. Moving on, the official website for the Rising of the Shield Hero TV anime has revealed a new visual for the 3rd season. Now, the interesting thing that came from this visual reveal as well is that they announced that they were going to be changing the directors once again. This series has kind of seen a change of directors a few times, but this time for the 3rd season, we will have Hitoshi Haga be taking over for the directing role. They've done some storyboards as well as worked as episode director for a couple of the episodes for the 1st season. So some people might see that as a positive because a lot of people enjoyed the 1st season, didn't like the 2nd season, but honestly, from my vantage point, I don't believe the director was at fault for what happened with season 2. I believe it was just them trying to rush to get to this 3rd season content, and no matter what you did with it, it was probably not going to work out very well. Either way, I'm glad for Hitoshi. Hopefully he does a fantastic job for the 3rd. I honestly, for me personally at this point, I really hope that the 3rd season turns out well. I've wanted the series to constantly be working out well. I always want every anime to be successful, honestly. But there is an aspect that, yes, the 2nd season was terrible. And again, I don't blame the director for that. I really hope that 3rd season, what they were trying to rush to get to, turns out to be as fantastic as it seems like they're trying to get to it. Because I believe the reason why they announced the 2nd and 3rd season at the same time is because they knew that they were going to rush the 2nd season. And they really, what they wanted to adapt was that 3rd season. So obviously this is what they were shooting for. Again, my speculation. I'm saying obvious, it's my speculation. The key art itself looks fine. Looks very dire looking, more darker. Most of the other key arts for Rising Shield Hero is very kind of standing off to adventure, characters looking onto a horizon or something. This one looks much more focused on one character. You have this guy in this ruins, and yes, you can debate if it's a good thing. We have the whole listing of at least 6 of the 7 deadly sins, so whatever that's going to turn into, maybe we're going to do a whole 7 deadly sins that that anime in general really loves doing, or at least Japanese writing loves to do every now and then. But we'll see how that turns out. Moving on, the official website for the TV anime of Our Last Crusade and the Rise of the New World. Of course, we had recently announced the second season for it, but now the official website has announced that that second season will premiere in 2023. So another show right around the corner for us to look forward to. I've mentioned it several times before. I was with the first season, but honestly, the big criticism that I had at the end of that first season was this feels like a source material bait. This feels like we just started the show. Like we're now going to get into the big stuff. And so when the second season was announced, it honestly really did kind of help my perspective of the show. Like I no longer see it as a source material bait. I really do see like that was the opening to the story that it's going to be getting into. So I'll be looking forward to that second season, honestly, despite the fact that I have a lot of criticisms other than that about the first season, especially with the very, very convenient meeting of these two characters from two different nations constantly meeting at this neutral zone. Just happened to. Moving on, the official website for Beast Tamer TV anime has posted a new visual as well as a new teaser and an October 2nd premiere date. So again, another one. I think we already had an announcement that it was going to be in fall, so now we have a set date for it. The PV looks great. I'm really looking forward to these characters. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the animal ear characters or beast people characters, not furries, but just animal characters, Neko girls and stuff. And so it looks really good. Again, it kind of plays in the whole idea of a beast tamer. And so my curiosity is going to come into, is it going to be applying to using his abilities with the girls who are obviously beast girls? So I'll be looking forward to that one. I'm definitely excited for it. It looks visually fine, so we'll see. For our next bit of news, we have the official website for Sugar Apple Fairy Tale anime has announced the series will premiere in 2023. So another 2023 premiere show. They released a new trailer for it. Looks pretty awesome. I actually was pretty pleased by what I seen in the PV. They also have a new visual for the series, which looks great. The synopsis is Anne Halford is a candy crafter determined to follow in her mother's footsteps and become a silver sugar master, a title bestowed only by royalty. In order to travel to the capital to realize her dreams, she purchases Chalet, a handsome but foul-mouthed fairy, as her bodyguard. Anne wishes to befriend her new companion, but in this kingdom where fairies are treated like property, Chalet wants nothing to do with humans. Will this journey with An change his mind? It was kind of interesting because the PV itself, it kind of played out like the fairies were like typical fairies, very small, but he's like human sized. So, but it does show that he has one wing missing. So I'm wondering why he hates humans, because yes, he's treated badly, but also that he lost a wing. But I'm also wondering if the losing of the wing makes him look like he's more human size, but maybe he can just change his size. But I'll be interested in that one. It visually looks fine. I like the character designs already. So we'll see if that one turns out to be a good one. Moving on, we have some news that came out of Crunchyroll Expo, including that Tower of God will be getting a second season. Yes, Tower of God. That show, it had some good points in it, honestly. It is one of those shows where it doesn't seem like most people enjoyed it, so you kind of wonder why Tower of God. I know that was something that was actually, assisted and produced by Crunchyroll, so maybe they just really don't want to let it go. Maybe they think maybe it turned out well for them. It could be, but either way, we'll see if the second season can hopefully explain what the hell's going on, because it's a very obscure show that's very hard to follow what's going on. The first season did have some good action scenes here and there, so we'll see. But I guess if you're a huge fan of Tower of God, exciting news for you guys. Some really exciting news for me personally is that Kadokawa has announced that Reborn as a vending machine light novel is getting an anime adaptation. This is one of those ones where I seen this cover art at some point a while back and said, what? This is a thing? I'm actually pretty excited for this, honestly. It is going to be a TV anime, so not an OVA or a movie. Reborn as Vending Machine, I Now Wander a Dungeon is the light novel series. A middle-aged man with only one passion in his life meets a fitting end in a traffic accident. That's where most stories would end, but instead, this is when his story begins, when he's reborn as what he admires the most in life, a vending machine. But his new lease on life happens in the worst place possible. What can a vending machine do in a monster-infested dungeon when he can't speak or even move on his own? So there you go. Definitely looking forward to that one. It just sounds like a very bizarre concept. At the same time, this is kind of one of those ones where the moment I seen the concept, as bizarre as it sounds, it is one of those ones where I wonder, does it have legs? Yes, vending machine joke doesn't have legs. Does it have legs to go on from that? Is that the punchline for the first chapter, or is there a cool concept here that really does keep it going? But either way, I'm very curious about it, and I'm looking forward to it. And finally, for our last bit of news, we have some news on Bungo Stray Dogs for all the fans out there. I know there's a lot of fans out there. Like, Bungo Stray Dogs has a massive fandom. I kind of dropped off on it late in the last season, but I do want to go back and get caught up on it. I think at some point I just really wanted to rewatch the whole thing because I was getting lost on certain things. But yeah, the 4th season, of course, we already have that announcement was coming and super excited for it. But at the Crunchyroll Expo, they released a new visual for it, as well as a debut for it, which is January 2023. So again, another one to add to the list for January. Anime is just not letting up, and that's super exciting stuff. So, and that's it. That's all the news I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure to hit that like button down below. Comment what's most exciting for you guys here. Are you guys excited for Bungo Stray Dogs? Maybe Rising the Shield Hero? People hoping that will turn itself around. Are you a fan of Tower of God and is super excited for the new season? Or, again, Ranking of Kings? Are you disappointed but excited at the same time? Let me know down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Additionally, if you have not already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you get all my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, I would greatly appreciate if you consider supporting us on Patreon, our tips link, or super thanks button down below. Greatly appreciate everybody that does, and y'all take care.